Hello, I'm John Shanahan, and I'm talking to you today from Oxford Yacht Agency in Oxford, Maryland, the location where I have sold for many years Grand Banks new and used, and consequently have been a dealer for engines and generators. So in the early days, the Grand Banks clicked because of a package made by Roger Lehman to marinize a Ford tractor motor. And then as time went on, it became obvious to my brother and I that we needed better engines. Not that the Ford Lehman were good enough, but the Grand Bankses were obviously built to go 100 years. And we wanted, over time, as the costs of these boats rose and as they got more sophisticated and larger, we also wanted them to go faster than just trawler speeds, which the designer had in mind. So it is no mystery why we began ordering the boats with Caterpillars in the 70s. Okay, and as time went on, we also began to use John Deere engines. Originally, as I say, we had the Lehman engines, and then Grand Banks got behind the John Deere engines. And then as the John Deere engines were being used up, we got behind the Caterpillar. And then as Caterpillar engines didn't quite cover all of the areas of the product line, we began to use Cummins as well. So we looked around and also got some Volvo engines in the boats, and in some other ones, some Detroit diesel engines. Well, today we're here to talk about our experiences with Yanmar engines. And what I have to say is that it's a very clean engine. Your engine room will stay clean. It's not an engine that causes a dirty engine room. It's also a quiet engine. It's also an engine where the distributor, Mack Boring on the East Coast, and Yanmar, which operates out of Georgia and Netherlands, have done a magnificent job of signing up folks like myself and other mom and pop marine businesses who are resourceful and smart and experienced at keeping a small engine running in a sailboat. And it's these sailboat engines that have given Yanmar their reputation for reliability and good service. So it's no mystery to anyone that Yanmar would build, beginning, say, 25 years ago, slowly, a product line that enabled the East Bay to run very well with, for example, their 6CX engine, which is an industrial engine at 465 horsepower at 2,800 RPMs. And if you run it at 2,900, you have 500 horsepower. Well, today the engines that we're talking about are the newest, most sophisticated common rail engines available. And the engines that we've just put in, a 2005 Grand Banks 46 Classic, are in fact engine number 1 and engine number 5 of the 6LF series. And this series is unique because of several reasons. We have a goal when we do a repower to put the engine in its complete form, installed without removing components that could possibly affect the warranty. And therefore, the integrity of the engine is never compromised. We also take pains to modify the fuel system, the electrical system, the plumbing system, and of course, the exhaust system in addition to the propulsion system, we modify these systems so that the Yanmar engine can really do its thing perfectly. Now, the experience that we have at hand is very interesting. We have a beautiful 2005 Grand Banks 46 Classic, which came on the market in Connecticut. It's a boat that came from our shop, but we did not sell it. We were not involved in the sale of it, but the owner of the boat contacted me and asked me for some advice about what to do, because he'd found the boat of his dreams, but he didn't feel that the engines were up to his dreams. The engines had close to 4,000 hours, and he felt that maybe it's time to reevaluate the propulsion system entirely. And so we had some conversations, and we also got Richie Summers from Shore Power Solutions involved, and he suggested to look at the Yanmar engine. So the 6LF engines arrived this spring, and we put them in the boat, and this summer we've been doing sea trials. And at this stage, we have completed the sea trials, and they have been most successful. And so this boat is going out on its first cruise directly, and I thought it would be good to say a few words about how this installation went. Now, the installation was very carefully engineered with the help of some pretty smart people, and we were able to remove the previous engines, the 3126B Caterpillars, very easily out of the doors, right out of the main cabin door. Boat engine can run out. And by taking out one wing out, we were able to slide on a cradle the Yanmar engine in upright, right through a window, without taking apart anything that had any impact with the warranty. And that meant that the entire engine goes down in the boat, ready to plug in. This process to put an engine in a boat has been very much simplified. We've had the experience, and we have some good people helping us. And so we've been able to do a system that is easy to set up, and we can control the time that it takes in a way that we can give out fixed prices to do this type of stuff in hours. It is also true that the support that we got from Yanmar is wonderful. And the guys from Yanmar really cared about this job and showed up and spent days with us and guided us through the ins and outs of this process.